Hey there everybody, nice to see you again. Thanks for tuning in. So I've been working on my office and trying to get a little bit better backdrop, etc. And hopefully this is better. Everywhere around me is on fire right now. It's not where I am locally in the sense that like I'm not in any evacuation order, under any evacuation order or anything like that. I mean, it's not threatening me, but 20, 30 miles away over the hills, because I'm in a valley here, it's all on fire. And so there's a lot of smoke in the air and it's in the back of my throat. And so it's, yeah, so the smoke is affecting me, that's for sure. So that's why I'm in the office and I'm not out in the field right now, because, and plus it's 102 or 3 degrees. Which is just like, you know, I mean, that's over 40 Celsius, and that's not fooling around. That's realistic. So, yeah, it's summertime, and summertime's rough. I mean, it's taken me years and years and years to fine tune and think about what's going on. But really what it comes down to is the prime time for photography, for landscape photography, the prime season, I should say, is pretty much September even through the winter time into, assuming that the weather's not dangerous, like snowy and icy and travel is impeded, but September through, let's say, April, May, for me anyway, for where I live. So this is the downtime kind of, and it's given me an opportunity to catch up on chores that I've been putting off for literally years. And I've been going through some old hard drives. I found a hard drive last night and I ran some of the pictures in the intro, some of the photographs. These are some of the best photographs I've ever done. Yeah, what a find. I found a hard drive last night that had a whole bunch of 2008, 2009, 2010 images from the Nikon D300, Nikon D700. I mean, there was a time, and I only achieved this once with digital, where I had a camera bag full of gear that was absolutely the best gear. And I mean, I guess it was just in my mind, I don't know, because there was lots of great gear out there, but it was really satisfying for me. And I haven't achieved that in a long time, but there was a time, and I remember it distinctly. I remember the bag. I still have the bag, the Tamron, the big black Tamron bag. And honestly, that gear wouldn't be the gear I'd want to use today because it was kind of heavy. But I had a Nikon D300, a Nikon D700, the 14 to 24 2.8, the 24 to 70 2.8, and the 70 to 200 2.8. And that was it, man. That was like, you know, I was young and I could carry it all and I could go hiking and all the rest of it. So, so that's the big secret to landscape photography that I wanted to share with this video, and it really is the major factor in getting great, beautiful landscape photographs. Be in a beautiful place at the right time with the right light in the right season. You know, that it's simple, but it's hard to do. Okay. And these photographs that I've been running in, or that I put in the intro to this video, and I'll put some more in as we go to get out of this. These photographs are a real great example of that. There was a time back then when I was zipping around and, you know, I'd see something I thought was interesting and I'd head down there and I would get the photograph, right? So Punch Bowl Falls, the Portland Japanese Gardens, just to name a few. And yeah, hiking in the Columbia River Gorge. Living on the west side of the state made it a lot easier because I was in a lot closer proximity to some of these really fantastic places. The Woodburn Tulip Festival, things like that. Silver Falls State Park. The Oregon coast was closer. So now it's a bit of a drive. But you know what? That's just an excuse. And I guess I've gotten lazy because this fall I'm really planning on getting out there. I know I've said it before and it didn't happen. For life happened and there was extenuating circumstances. But it's really become clear to me that in order for me to get some great landscape shots, I need to get out there. and I need to go to the places where that's a possibility. And that really is the big secret to getting great landscape. Now, I've been getting good photographs recently. You know, for the past couple of years, I've been getting good photographs, but nothing that really has excited me. And that's because I haven't really been going to the places that excite me. So maybe that's a qualifier. It's like you're going to get exciting photographs when you go to the places that you get excited about. So there it is. Here's a plug for somebody, Gavin Hardcastle, Stories Within Stories. And I have to thank Gavin. This is a really beautiful book. And he's done a nice job. And no joke. I mean, he jokes around a lot, but he really is a great photographer. I've got both his books, actually. So there's the other one, Chasing Awe with Gavin Hardcastle. And they're wonderful books. And I will say that Gavin, I can't say he's inspired me because, you know, we're photographers. We all are inspired to go do stuff. But what he's done is he's reminded me that you got to go to the beautiful places to get the beautiful shots. And he really puts, I mean, he may not even be that great a photographer. Just kidding, Gavin. But he puts the legwork in. He does the traveling. He goes to the places that excite him. And he, you know, and he's a great photographer on top of that. He's got a great eye for composition. But, you know, you can have the best gear and the best eye for composition and the best technique. But if you're a landscape photographer and you're not in front of a pretty landscape, it ain't going to happen. So there is that. I mean, it really is a self-evident, obvious thing. But on the other hand, you know, hey, I haven't been doing it and I've known it for years. And that's only recently that I haven't been doing it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to September. I've got a trip scheduled to Stanley. And quite literally, I am now identifying places that I want to go, that I can get to, the easy places to get to, and then some bigger trips for this fall. Because quite honestly, you know, I said September through April, but really what it is late September, October, November. So September it kicks off. Stanley Lake closes down. Up in Stanley, Idaho, the Sawtooth Wilderness area, gorgeous place, lots of potential, and it's a place that excites me. And so I'm headed there in the middle of September. Now, why the middle of September? Well, it's up about 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 feet, and they, you know, the past few years that we've gone there, the second weekend or the third weekend in September, that next week the place shut down because of snow. So that is really the last chance to get in there. And that trip could be canceled because if the snow comes a week or two earlier, you can't get up there. So the place we stay, camp, closes down and the trails are closed down. I mean, they get a foot of snow the first time it snows up there. And yeah. So and then I'm looking at like the Lewis River in Washington for a trip. I'm looking at Silver Falls State Park for a trip. These are weekend trips, you know, overnighters, because they're, you know, you zip in, you zip out. They're close to me. And Cape Disappointment up in Washington near Astoria. That's not that far. I'd spend a couple of days there. But that you could do that in November, December, January, February. It's preferred during the winter months when there's big storms that come in because the waves get really big and etc. And that's a shot I'd like to get, or some shots of the waves there. And in November, the first 2 weeks in November, I've identified as the time to go to Caddo Lake, Texas, which is the bayou. And what's really funny is I lived in Houston for 3 or 4 years, and it was only like a 3-hour drive from Houston. Didn't even know it existed. And what a shame. I would have definitely headed up there. So, and the wife's got family in Beaumont, Texas. So that's a double winner there. We can, that's about 200 miles south of Caddo Lake. So if we're going to Caddo Lake in November, then we're going to visit the wife's family, which is always nice. And that'll be fun. And so those are that. I mean, these are all the ideas I have right now, and I'm always open for more. And I'd love to hear your guys' comments. So what are places that you would like to go photograph? and you know, things that you'd like to go see. Just throw it in the comments, you know, your wish list. Whether I could get there or not, I'm always curious at what inspires other photographers. So there it is. Enjoy the photographs, and this was my #1 top secret, double top secret tip for getting great and beautiful landscape photographers. And again, thank you to Gavin Hardcastle for these beautiful books. Although he didn't give them to me, I had to pay real money for them. So I'm not sure why I'm thanking him. I mean, just kidding, Gavin. But if I ever print a book, I will send you one, Gavin, for free. So how cool is that? Because that's the kind of guy I am. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. We'll see you out there when the fires die down and it gets a little cooler. Have a great one. Bye.